What up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all over the world? We are in effect. Good evening on this Monday evening. It's good to see you guys tonight, wherever you are and whatever it is you're doing. I think that's dope. So, as you guys know, right? As you guys know, we still are very much in the middle of the basketball season. Very much in the middle of it. And it may not seem like it because we've unveiled an NBA champion. Oh, we got a lot of other stuff going on right now. We got free agency going on. Yep, we got free agency going on. We got the Utah Salt Lake City Summer League going on, which I actually think that's, to be honest with you, even better than what we already got going on. And with the California Summer League, I think it's even better. So, with that being said, right? With that being said, we got stars. We got future stars. We got guys trying to prove themselves. And then we got guys who've already done that, but they come back to the Summer League the next year. And a team like the Oklahoma City Thunder, for example, they have guys on their crew who half these dudes on a team aren't going to make this, aren't going to make the training camp roster. Half the dudes aren't going to do that. So with that being said, they're actually auditioning for other teams. And who have I seen? Right? Who have I seen over the past couple of weeks that I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I like his game. Right? I think it's pretty interesting to watch Castle, because remember now, it's different going up against free agents than it is going up against actual NBA players, right? I think it's interesting to do that, but on top of that, I think to show the potential that you have, like you dudes will see Castle and think immediately, all right, this dude's going to go to Minnesota. He's starting right from day one, and he's going to be their lead guard, right? So he is going to be their lead guard in the future, just not right now. I like this kid Spencer on that Golden State roster. I do like him, and he's a sneaky athlete. I'm not going to say sneaky. I don't like the word sneaky. Sneaky implies white dude, and I don't do the white boy thing. No, I do not. He's a good athlete. He's actually better than what I thought. So with that being said, to see him punch it, in transition like he did, I was really impressed with that. Hi, Kenny. I was really impressed with that. So this kid Arms from Sacramento. Adonis Arms from Sacramento. He looks like a player. I'm not sure if he's going to I'm not sure that he's going to make the Sacramento squad. He's definitely getting invited to camp, though. 100% he is. I love everything about his game. I love how hard he plays. I love the effort that he puts in. There's a few guys that I've seen. I pay more attention to the Salt Lake Summer League and I pay more attention to the Salt Lake Summer League and the Vegas Summer League off the strength that the guys that I've seen who turned into stars were there. So I remember seeing Jason Tatum in 2017. Summer League was at the University of Utah, and he looked fantastic. I was like, yo, that dude's a star. 100%. I saw Zion in Vegas. I didn't know he was made of glass. I did not know that, but I was impressed with him. Jabari Smith, I'm impressed with him. So I'm in Vegas. So I feel like there's a lot of guys. I feel like there's a few guys that I've seen so far, right? There's a few guys that I've seen so far in the summer league that I can say there's a few guys that I've seen so far in the summer league that I can say I like this kid. The kid from Miami. Where? Well, the thing that I like about him is one, his ability to run the floor. I'm sure Spo sees him running the floor and he's like Bill Walsh drawing up plays. I'm sure he's doing that just off the strength of what this kid looks like, right? Just off the strength of what this kid looks like and how athletic he is around the rim, his ability to protect the rim. I'm sure Spo is licking his chops with this guy. 100% he is. So I I I I like guys, big guys in particular. I like big guys who, under no circumstances, make it clear that their size is what makes the difference. And where plays big. He doesn't play like a wing big, right? He doesn't play like a guy who plays on the perimeter. No, he plays like a big man. And I love that about him. And I think that Miami is just going to enhance that. And with that being said, right, with that being said, there's some, to be honest with you, some guys that I'm not impressed with at all. Like the Miami Heat team. I'm not impressed with them at all. Dalton Knecht is struggling, and that's largely due to his shot selection because the amount of shots that the quality of shots that these guys are getting for him. He's not going to get those kind of shots playing with James. One, he's going to get different looks playing with James. Not only is he going to get different looks, but not only is he going to get different looks, he's going to be able to convert a lot easier playing with James, playing with Anthony Davis, playing with Austin Reeves. Way different playing with those guys. So, and this guy Pedram, who says to me, I normally don't deal with this stuff this early, but Pedram wants to talk about my opinion on LeBron, despite being almost a billionaire, doesn't take the pay cut. Okay, well, Pedram, how do you feel about it? That's my question. Because it sounds to me like you clearly have an issue with it. Even though James said that he would take a pay cut, almost 20 million for specific guys. He said that. And on top of that, all he essentially did, he didn't do anything that wasn't already on the table. The deal that he signed was basically him opting into his current contract. That's it. It's opted because he's got a player option after next year, which means he could quit after that. So all he really did was take the money that he was originally going to have on his original contract. He opts into that and gets an extra year. So him taking a pay cut, he already said that I'll take a pay cut for A, B, and C. He said that. And the reason why he signed that contract is because he was under the impression that DeMar DeRozan, because James Harden was already off the table, Klay Thompson was already off the table. So now that leaves DeMar DeRozan. So DeMar DeRozan is still out there, but James signs the contract, which suggests to me that he had already made his mind up that that DeRozan wasn't coming. And the contract, by the way, is team friendly, where it doesn't put them over the cap. It does not put them over the cap. He took $2 million less, so it doesn't put them in the second apron, which is good because we all know what the second apron looks like. The second apron essentially handicaps you. So hopefully I answered your question. Yeah, hopefully I answered your question. So we'll see what happens with that. Anyway, yeah, Dalton Knecht, right? Dalton Knecht, he's going to get different looks. in the process of him getting different looks, right? In the process of him getting different looks, he's going to be able to convert easier in transition. Him running off screens. I think there's going to be different action than what Darvin Ham was running. Darvin Ham ran a lot of 5 out, not a lot of movement off the basketball, a lot of standing around. I don't think that J.J. Redick does that. And with him hiring both Nate McMillan and Scott Brooks, there's going to be different offensive schemes, right? There's going to be different offensive schemes that you're going to see. I think he sees a lot of himself in Austin Reeves, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Austin Reeves getting more action. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Yeah, Dalton Connect is a guy that I'm not really impressed with early, but I felt the same way about Brandon Miller last year in the Summer League. But I also thought, watching Brandon Miller last year in the Summer League, his game was going to be different when he got to Charlotte, off the strength that him playing with LaMelo Ball, he was going to get different looks. Way different looks playing with LaMelo Ball. So the second apron, Remo, is the salary cap in the NBA. And the first apron is not nearly as difficult as the second apron. The second apron, one, it's a hard cap. 2, you can only sign your free agents. 3, no mid-level exception guys. None of those. That's not happening. For every $1 you go over the salary cap, that's $3 that you owe. So it's triple, which is incredible. So no mid-level exception guys, hard salary, no mid-level exception guys, hard cap. You can only sign your free agents. You can't sign other free agents from other teams. That's it. When you're in the second apron. And more importantly, during the buyout market, so when guys like Kevin Love are available in the buyout market, and a guy like Nas Reed or somebody like that that's available in the buyout market, nope, you can't have him. You cannot have any of those guys. So back to Dalton Connect. I think he's just like Brandon Miller. I think he's going to look a lot different playing with James. Now, another thing about this summer league, and I thought that it was interesting, and I was a little confused about it because I'm thinking to myself, J.J. Redick has 0 coaching experience, none, never been on a bench, so never been on a bench as a coach. Rotations, drawing up plays, situations. Don't get me wrong, it's different being a player and being a coach. Knowing when to sub, knowing when not to sub, knowing when to call timeout, how many timeouts we have, managing the game. I think he would have gotten some great experience coaching in the summer league, because a lot of this stuff, he could understand the rules. He could get more acclimated to the rules. And because he could do that, right? But because he can do that, I feel like that would make him a more competent coach. He would understand the game a little bit more. Steve Kerr did it. A lot of people talk about Steve Kerr not having any coaching experience. Steve Kerr, the year he got the job with the Warriors, he coached in the summer league in 2016. That summer. 100% he did. He coached in the summer league. And I think that was a good thing for him. Understanding rotations, how to call plays. Because when I'm a player on the floor, I'm thinking about the game way different than when I'm a coach. When I'm a player, I'm specifically thinking about my job, when to get open, rebound, play make, score. I'm thinking of that way. As a player, as a coach, I'm thinking about how to get everybody involved. I'm thinking about how everybody is doing their job, how to get these guys on the bench involved in the game, stuff like that. So I think that J.J. Redick, I think he could have become more competent as a coach had he coached the Lakers in the summer league. I think it would have helped him. I don't think it would have been a bad thing for him to do that. So the summer league has become. I feel like the summer league has become. I feel like the summer league has become such a tool for young players like Brandon Miller, like Castle, like Cam Whitmore, like Jabari Smith, Thompson, guys like that. I think the summer league has become such a vessel for these guys to, one, showcase who they are, become better pros, and give us a glimpse of what it could possibly be with them. Otherwise, we'd have to wait until the season started. Because I was thinking, I literally was thinking a couple of days ago, like, what did we do before summer league? Like when the draft, when the draft started, and the draft was over, what did we do after the draft? We just waited for the seasons to start. So June, July, August, September, October. We got 4, right? We'd have 4 months in between the draft and when training camp opened. And we just had to wait. That was it. We just had to wait. Now we have all of these tools that we can now see what these guys now can possibly look like, what they need to work on, what the coaches possibly need help with. And a guy like I said, a guy like JJ Redick, he could really benefit from the summer league. I think so. Because it could give him a better feeling as a coach for the game. People think just because you played, that automatically means you're going to be a good coach. No, that's not the case at all. That is not the case at all. So, I really dig the summer league. So Germany, who I think you can't hear me. That's a you thing, because the other people, they can hear me just fine. I don't know what's going on with you, but I think the others, they hear me just fine. So I just feel like the summer league is just been great. Off the strength that we get to see these guys. Man, we didn't get to see these guys before. And it's a bridge between I feel like it's a bridge between the end of the season and the season. We still got a whole bunch of basketball. Free agency is going on still, right? Free agency is going on still. Now you got the summer league. You got the summer league in California, and then you got the summer league in Salt Lake, and then you got the summer league in Vegas, and you got the Olympics, right? Which is super dope. We got basketball all summer. Now, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not mistaken, I think that the gold medal game, I think the gold medal game is like August 10th, something like that. Something like that. I can find it right now. To be honest with you, I could find it right now. Let's see. Let's see here. I'll find it right now. I'm pretty confident that the gold medal game is on August the 10th. Let's see. I'll tell you guys right now. I think it is. Yeah, I think the gold medal game is on August the 10th. And I'll let you guys know right now. Yep, hang on. Hold on. '24 gold medal game. Hang on. Yes, sir. Let's see here. I'll tell you guys right now. Yep. So the tip off for the group stage is the 27th. The knockout phase is on the 6th, and the gold medal game is on the 10th, on a Saturday. Right? So now you have, right? So now we have, right, now we have between, from August the 10th to training camp opens like September the 27th or September, because the season starts, I think, like October the, I think the preseason starts like October the 5th or something like that, and opening night is like the 25th or something like that. So we still have a, from August 10th to when training camp opens, we don't have basketball. So I'm comfortable with a month, right? I'm comfortable with I'm comfortable with about a month and a half, right? I'm comfortable with about a month and a half, as opposed to from June to the beginning of October. I'm way comfortable with that. So um Bona from Oklahoma City. All right, we'll see. So anyway, I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. What I wanted to talk to you guys about today, and I think it's quite interesting that uh we've been talking about free agency, and we've been talking about all of these big name free agents who've, gotten bagged, and we haven't talking about the guys that people are sleeping on. Yes, in Philly. We haven't talked about the guys that people are straight sleeping on. That nobody's really talking about, these free agent signings. You guys are talking about Paul George and LeBron James, uh James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, the big name guys. Pascal Siakam signs his extension. Guys like that. So we have not discussed, guys like Sadiq Bey. We haven't discussed those guys. Gary Trent. Nah. And the reason why I think it's important is because, like, these are glue guys. Like, I know that I know that you guys do a lot of talking about. I know that you guys do a lot of talking about how big of a deal, signing Giannis is, or signing Kawhi Leonard is over the summer, or Paul George. I know how big a deal that is for you guys. Signing OG Anunoby or LeBron James. Even though this isn't a big time free agent market. No, that's not going on here. But there have been some names that have caught people's eye. DeMar DeRozan, LeBron James, OG Anunoby, Paul George, Maxey, Cade Cunningham, James Harden. These guys re up. These guys re up with their units. But the guys that I don't think that we talk about, the guys that I don't think we talk about are the glue guys. The guys that I don't think we talk about are, like, I'm thinking about a guy who hasn't been signed yet, like Sadiq Bey. Sadiq Bey has an injury to his ACL. All right, and he's healing up. Right, he's healing up. With him healing up, there's going to be some teams that he could help. 100%, there's some teams that he could help. He's not going to be one of these guys that's just there. Sadiq Bey was one of the better DN3 guys in the league. One of the best DN3 guys in the league before he tore his knee up. Like, I love Sadiq Bey as a rotation guy in Miami. Love him. I don't like Sadiq Bey in Miami. I love him. And you can get him on the cheap. You don't have to worry about going overboard with him. That you don't have to worry about. I like him in Orlando. I like him in Milwaukee, to be quite honest with you, because he comes cheap. You don't have to worry about going over the salary cap with him. You can basically get him on the cheap. So, with that being said, a guy like Gary Trent Jr. I love Gary Trent Jr. in Denver. Shooting 50% on the long ball wide open. More of a Roma defensively. But can be a good on-ball defender, which is what they need in Denver. The $1 million question is what is it going to cost you to get Gary Trent Jr.? Because I definitely think he's a filler. 100% he is. Is he KCP good? I don't know if I'll go that far, but younger, right? Younger, more efficient at the long ball line, which Denver needs, because statistically, if I'm not mistaken, I think they were the worst. Right? I think statistically they were the worst 3-point shooting team in the league. Denver was. There weren't too many. There weren't too many teams in the league. There wasn't anyone in the league who shot worse than Denver at the long ball line. There are guys that I feel like we're not talking about that we should be talking about, like Aaron Wiggins. Like a lot of y'all talk about Bronny James at the 55th pick, and worst case scenario, it just doesn't work. Just so y'all know, Aaron Wiggins in Oklahoma City, he was the 55th pick in the second round a couple years back. And he signed a 3-year, $48 million extension with Oklahoma City. Could shoot the long ball, can get downhill, can defend. Pretty good on a pick and roll. Pretty damn good on a catch and shoot. One of your better rotation guys. I love that about him. And I love that. I love that he could really help your unit. Because if you look at what's going on in Oklahoma City, you know, the trade for Alex Caruso, big deal. Huge deal. Upgrading on your perimeter defensively. I think that's a big deal. On top of that, you get a guy who can shoot the basketball. Alex Caruso has gotten better as a shooter. With Alex Caruso getting better as a shooter, I feel like that makes Lou Dort expendable, man. I do. I feel like that makes Lou Dort expendable, but it's okay to have both of them, right? It's okay to have both of them, and I'm cool with that. I'm good with that. But I really like Aaron Wiggins in your rotation because you got way more bang. You got way more bang for your buck with him. You didn't have that before. You didn't. The Bulls have shown me that they do have a plan. And the plan is that we tear this whole thing down. I think it's a year. I think they could have done that a year earlier, right? I think that they could have done that a year earlier, but that's fine. The fact that they're doing it now, I think is a big deal. And what they're doing is they're filling their team with building blocks, right? They're filling their team with building blocks. I think that's dope because once they get their franchise guy, that's going to make their unit even better because we don't have to get the fillers. We already got that. So to have a guy, I don't think that, and I got into a pretty good debate about Josh Giddey and his importance. I love Josh Giddey on the Chicago Bulls team. The problem in Oklahoma City was he needs the basketball. Shea plays with the ball. So Shea is better than him. Shea is more dynamic than him, right? Shea is better than him. Shea is more dynamic than him. And I think that that's a good thing because you want to go with Shea. But I also feel like, but I also feel like Josh Giddey can be one of the better distributors in the game, one of the better playmakers in the game. Doesn't really defend that well, and I think we can. I think we can figure that out. Right? I think that we can figure that out with him. And on top of that, him playing with the Chicago Bulls system, because, like I said, they tore us down. DeMar DeRozan is gone. Zach LaVine is next. Drummond is gone. I'm out on Vooch too. I'm out on Vooch, and I love Vooch. I just don't love him on Chicago. It's time to tear this thing down. Yep, it's time to tear this thing down. And in the process of him tearing this thing down, it's time to get your fillers and find you a franchise player. That's why the Chicago Bulls aren't going to be very good this year. And they put their names in the Cooper in the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. And one of the fillers that they got was Jalen Smith. I love that. I love that kid, man. I dug him at Maryland. He got hurt in Indiana, and that played him out of the rotation, right? I feel like that played him out of the rotation in Indiana. Not because he couldn't play, he got hurt. And then you had the emergence of small ball in Indiana. And with small ball, he really wasn't, right? It really didn't help his game, right? It really didn't help his game. So with that being with that being said, him now being in Chicago, you got another dirty work guy. So they're building this unit. Clearly, they're building this unit around Giddey, Kobe Wright, and Mateus, right? Kobe White and Mateus. So because of that, right? So because of that, I think Mateus is going to be a player. I can't wait to see him in the summer league to see what he looks like, right? I can't wait to see him to see what he looks like, because I think he's going to be huge for the Bulls. And they're at least got a plan in Chicago. We got to start over. Lonzo was the one, right? Lonzo was the one who threw a monkey wrench in this whole thing. And it's not really that big of a deal. And the reason why it's not that big of a deal is because he only got one more year left on his deal. So if he can play a little bit, you can move him, right? You can move him. So with that being said, right? With that being said, I think that you do have somebody. I think that you do have somebody that if he shows he can play, you could trick somebody into taking him off your hands at $20 million. Yeah. I think that you can get somebody to come to. I think you can get him off your hands, and I think that'd be good. I think that would be a good thing for you guys. Another guy that I don't feel like we talked about, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are out on him, right? I'm sure that a lot of you guys are out on him, but I love the James Wiseman. I love the James Wiseman signing in Indiana. James Wiseman played with the Golden State Warriors. They weren't really sure what they were doing with him, and very much like Kuminga, him getting on the championship unit, and with him getting on the championship unit, there was no leeway. There was no grace period. He got to pick this up right now. And I don't think that he played enough time. I don't think he had enough playing time in Memphis to get right on the Warriors and make an immediate impact, because they really didn't know what they were doing with him. Is he a pick and dive guy? Is he a pick and pop guy? Plus, I feel like that offense was a little bit too advanced for him. And then he goes to Detroit, where they have no idea what they're doing with him. Zero. They got no idea what they're doing with him. And then you go to Indiana, which Rick Carlisle is developing a reputation for being a resurrector. I don't know if you remember this, but I felt like Obi Toppin was on his way out the league. I did. I felt like Obi Toppin was on his way out the league. I didn't think he was that smart. Not only did I not think he was that smart, I also didn't think that defensively he could play. I just didn't, right? Even if I dropped the link reel, you wouldn't come up here. You won't. Even if I dropped the link, I I bet all the money that I have that you wouldn't come up here. Because I know you. First of all, you calling me Grill Town. You don't even know me to call me Grill Town, you chump. You know me, you don't even know me. You're a ticket disciple who comes into my live and you don't even know basketball. Talking about why don't stars come to Los Angeles? Why didn't stars come to Los Angeles when Kobe was playing? Just so you know, you traded for Pau Gasol. Why didn't any stars sign with the Los Angeles Lakers? Tell everybody that. Why can't you guys get anybody? Why aren't you talking about that? But that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. You won't come up here. And I'm not, like I said, you're a ticket disciple. You're a ticket disciple who doesn't know much about, at least Ticket knows basketball, right? At least Ticket knows basketball. He could talk basketball. Dudes like you, give me a break. You don't even know what you're talking about half the time. You don't. And the reason why the Lakers can't get better is because you're doing the same thing, which isn't making you better. You keep flipping the roster. You ever think for 1 second, just for 1 second, and I'm gonna get back to you guys. You ever think for 1 second that maybe the way you've been doing things hasn't been working, and the guys that you already have, maybe they are the guys that are gonna help you get better instead of you constantly trying to sign free agents, and that hasn't been working because you've been doing that. You go from Andre Drummond to Dwight Howard to Montrezl Harrell. You go to all of these other guys, and you've been flipping your roster. And how's that been going? It hasn't been going well. So maybe the guys that you have on your roster, maybe those guys might be your guys, which would explain why. And I'm going to get to him in a little bit. But a guy like I said, a guy like James Wiseman, the fact that they have what they have in Indiana with Rick Carlisle being a resurrector. If you look at what Rick Carlisle, if you think about what Rick Carlisle has done, like I felt like Obi Toppin was on his way out the league. Neesmith was in Boston rotting on the bench. Nobody was paying attention to him, right? Nobody pays attention to him whatsoever. He gets to Indiana, he's their starting two guard, and he's damn good. Damn good. He can knock down a shot. He can get to the mid-range. A damn good defensive two guard. I like everything about him. So I feel like one of the main reasons why these guys have been what they are is because, and I think this is great, Rick Carlisle doesn't run a lot of action. And with a distributor like Tyrese Halliburton, with a distributor like him, I think it's great because the game is so wide open. So to have a guy, to have a guy like James Wiseman, who very much like Obi Toppin, you can dumb down his contribution offensively. Like you don't put him in a lot of action. You don't get him the ball where he's got to make a lot of decisions. A lot of rim running with him, right? A lot of rim running with him. And I think that that's great, right? I think that that's great for him, especially running with a guy like Halliburton. And since we're on the subject of great, I thought what Philly did was fantastic, signing Eric Gordon, because I think they signed him as insurance, because I thought that they were going to lose Buddy Hield, and it looks like they thought they were going to lose him too, and they did. And they thought they did too. That's why they signed him, which is great, because I think he's going to help Paul George, Joel Embiid, Maxey in that offense. One of the better long ball shooters in the game, and I like that about him. And I really like that about him. And, back to my original point about the Lakers, maybe everything that you need is right there. There's a reason why they extended Max Christie. Like, we haven't talked about Max Christie at all. The fact that he got that 4-year deal. I think he's really going to help the Lakers. He wasn't really getting a lot of playing time under Darvin Ham. Darvin Ham is gone, right? Darvin Ham is gone. With Darvin Ham now being gone, what does that mean for Max Christie? If they extended him, that tells me that he's going to be in the rotation way more. And I love that, right? I definitely love that. And being a young guy who looks like he could get downhill, very much an energy guy, I really like that about him. Really like that about him. He can knock down open shots, and I think his defense can improve. He's a young guy. He's only 21 years old, 21, 22 years old. I love that about him. Love that about him. Like, we don't talk about guys like Andre Drummond. I think Oklahoma City dropped the ball passing on him. I do. I think Oklahoma City dropped the ball on Andre Drummond because he's a filler for what they need. I'm never passing on a glass cleaner. Never. Now, I know, I know for a fact, right? I know for a fact that a guy like Andre Drummond, you're not running offense for him. He's more of a dirty work guy. But the dirty work guy you need, right? The dirty work guy that you need, he 100% is him. 100%. And he takes that load off of guys like Hartenstein. He takes that load off of guys like Chet. I love that about him. And you could have got him on the cheap. If Philly got 2 years, if Philly got him at 2 years for $10 million, man, did you even pick the phone up and call him to see what the temperature was on him? Did you even call? Because, man, I thought that he was. I definitely thought that he could have helped you. I definitely talked. I definitely think that. He's going to help Philly. I'm 100% confident he's going to help Philly, and with him helping Philly, I think that they're going to be better. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm out on Philly. And the reason why I'm out on Philly is because of one reason and one reason only. Same reason why I'm out on the Clippers. It's Joel Embiid. That's it. That's the only reason why I'm out on Philly, because of Joel Embiid. I think he's good enough. I think he's good enough to take his team to the NBA championship. I just think he made of glass. I don't think he's going to hold up. I don't. I think from a talent standpoint and from a production standpoint, there aren't many better. Just as ball players, there aren't many better. But I don't think he's going to hold up. I don't. I do not think he's going to hold up. And because of that, I'm out on Philly. But I think the addition of Andre Drummond, I think it's going to help them. Excuse me. I do think that that's going to help them. One guy that you guys haven't been talking about, because with Dallas getting Clay, that's all you guys have been talking about. Because I think that you look at, right? I think that you look at Dallas, and I think you look at Klay Thompson like Klay Thompson of old, instead of him being old Klay Thompson. And that's where I think the divide is. But he isn't the linchpin. I think the linchpin is Najee Marshall. I love that signing. I don't like that signing. I love that signing. Another D&3 guy, tough as nails, can defend. Having a guy like Luka get shots, get him shots. I love him on that Dallas roster. Shot almost 40% on the long ball line. I think he shot 39% at the long ball line. The fact that the fact that you end up bagging him, I feel like that makes your lineup even better. Even better. You guys talk to me about Klay Thompson. I ain't thinking about Klay. I'm not. And the reason why I'm not thinking about Klay is because I feel like you guys make him out to be more than what he actually is. Klay Thompson is not over. Not over. But he's not what he used to be. He is not. And I think you guys are waiting for him to be that, when those days are over for him. Way over. And the biggest sleeper signing that I think about, that you guys have, that nobody has talked about, I love what they're doing up there in Toronto. If you can tell me, can you tell me a team that has a better developmental system than the Toronto Raptors. Because I don't know a better one. That's why I love the signing of Emmanuel Quigley. Love that. For that kind of money, I love that. And the reason why I love that, because one, it's the same thing that's going on in Chicago, where, they got a foundation. We building our unit around Scotty, RJ, and Quigley. Those are the three guys that we building our unit around. I'm not sure that there's a better developmental system than what they're doing up in Toronto. I'm not sure about that. I think that with the addition of Quigley, don't forget that this is the same Toronto Raptors team that, they won the G League championship with Nick Nurse. They had their, they not only won the NBA championship, they won the G League championship and moved their head coach from the G League up to the Raptors and won the NBA championship with him. They developed Fred VanVleet. They developed OG Anunoby, only to hand him over, right? Only to hand him over to the Knicks. But they get RJ Barrett. They get RJ Barrett and Quigley back. So I'm loving what they're doing with their developmental system up there. And I think Quigley is going to be somebody that you guys are going to not recognize. Like, damn, I didn't know he was that good. I did not know he was that good. He can defend. Quigley is going to be everything that Jordan Poole should have been. That's who Quigley's going to be. Like I look at Russell Wilson, he's everything Michael Vick should have been. That's how I'm looking at that. That's how I'm looking at Quigley. Quigley is going to be everything that Jordan Poole should have been. Everything. So those free agent signings, man, I don't think that we talk nearly as much about them. I think we should be talking. I feel like we should be talking about them more, which I just feel like we get wrapped up a lot of times, right? I feel like we get wrapped up a lot of times in the big free agents, and it's not going to be until the playoffs that you guys say something like, "Damn, where y'all get Lou Dort from? Man, where'd you get that dude Alex Caruso? Where'd you get him from? How the hell did you get him on your crew?" Right? It's not going to be until the playoffs until you see a guy like Coffey in with the Clippers, and or you see a guy like, I keep saying it, the Milwaukee Bucks made a mistake passing on Dunn. They did. They made a mistake passing on that kid. 100% they did. But that's what's going to end up happening. You guys are going to get we're going to get to the playoffs. Right? We're going to get to the playoffs. You guys are going to see Alex Caruso, or you're going to see Max Christie, and you're like, damn, where they find him at? What school did he go to? You guys are going to see Isaiah Joe and be like, where'd they find that guy? That's where these signings, that's where they become a big deal, right? That's where these, because y'all get wrapped up in Kawhi Leonard and James Harden, Pascal Siakam, LeBron James, right? Y'all get wrapped up in Cade Cunningham, in France, Wagner, which I had some people scoff at me about Wagner getting signed to a max deal. No, listen, man, I'm a firm believer that when you have a max player, when you sign him to a max deal like France, it's obvious this is your guy. And if he's not the man, he's a building block to what you're trying to do. So if France is a building block to what you're trying to do, build around that with him, with Paolo. You're building your unit around that. You have a foundation now. And I get that. But when you do stuff like, you bag KCP, that $22 million, man, I can tell y'all right now, if this doesn't work out in a year or 2 years, that $22 million contract is not going to be hard to move, yo. It's not going to be. That deal is not going to be hard to move 2 years from now when the salary cap goes up, when things get a little tricky. up?
What up, chill?
What up?
Man, I hear everything you said about these free agents, chill. But have you seen Cooper Flag?
Well, everybody got their name in the Cooper. If he was eligible to be in the draft, he would have been the number one pick, unanimous. I don't need to see him playing against the USA team to know that this kid, they're gonna be lined up for him. He's the
Oh
consensus
no,
number one overall pick next year in the draft. And I don't think it's a
chill.
question. I don't think it's a question.
Who, if heaven forbid the Spurs get him, the Rockets get him, OKC get him. Uh, oh man, if Miami could pull off some kind of miracle and get him, if he go to one of those teams, oh man, the league is in trouble. It's been a long time since we had an American white boy that is a hooper. He ain't a scorer. He ain't he's not a basketball player. That boy is a hooper. And man, watching him against Team USA reminded me a lot of the scrimmage that the Dream Team had against the college kids, C Webb, Grant Hill, Bobby Hurley, Jamal
Rodney,
Mashburn, all of them.
Rodney Rogers, Allen Houston.
Rodney Rock, yep. It reminded me a lot of that. And a lot of them dudes came into the league and hit the ground running.
Mm-hmm.
Chill, Mark, if he goes to San Antonio, the Spurs are going to win probably four more championships. Easy.
Well,
That,
I do know for a fact that there's a reason why Brooklyn emptied it because they in the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. They not playing. Brooklyn
yeah,
is
but
intentionally, if we being honest about Brooklyn, with all the draft picks that they accumulated
hmm
and getting rid of and moving off of Miles, moving off of Mikal Bridges, it's obvious what Brooklyn is doing. Now, what Brooklyn can't do, Brooklyn cannot try to sell that they're trying to win. No, we are going to
oh
suck
no,
next year. Let's be
no,
100%
no.
clear about that right now. We are going to suck. 100% we are. We are going to suck. And that's a good thing that we're going to suck. And the reason why that's a good thing is so we could get high draft picks, so we could build our unit, right? Because again, if you think about the Brooklyn Nets, I'm thinking about Brooklyn in particular because with the exception of KD, with the exception of Kyrie Irving, nobody's really coming to Brooklyn in free agency. So you're gonna have
Yeah,
to what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to build this through the draft and through trades. And you gotta get it right in the draft. You have to. So if they're comfortable enough, and the people in Brooklyn will get behind them, if they know that, yo, once we get ourselves a franchise player and we build around this dude, like Cooper Flag, the people in Brooklyn will get behind them. So
I
Brooklyn is
don't
definitely
I
one
don't
of those
see
teams.
the league letting Cooper Flag go to, and no disrespect to the Nets, but I just don't see that happening to He is a clear cut number one, and for the first time since what, after Wimby, I couldn't tell you the last great overall. He's definitely going to be a superstar player to come out the draft. Like
Maybe,
it is.
maybe.
I don't think they're gonna let him go to Brooklyn.
Why
I think
not?
he's gonna go. Nah, man. I know my man Leaf Diggy is gonna probably got something to say about it, but nah, I don't think they're gonna let him go to Brooklyn.
Why
I
not?
think he's gonna go to one of those. I don't think Brooklyn has. I don't think Brooklyn has the right cachet
And
for
San
that kind of
Antonio and
player.
San Antonio does?
San Antonio has a history of winning. Chill.
Yeah, man, that was years ago, man. They won the NBA championship 10 years ago. 10. That's a decade has passed since they won the
And
NBA
when was the
championship.
last time the Nets won a championship?
But the point is that that was years ago. That's why these kids today, if you think about the kids today, and unfortunately, I hate to say this, Minor, but if you think about the kids in the draft today and the kids in the draft the last couple of years, for lack of a better term, Minor, they don't give a fuck about Magic. They don't care. They don't care about Joe Dumas. They don't care. They don't care about them dudes. The
Yeah,
further
but
away, the longer you're removed, the further away you're removed, the more people forget about you. So the San
but
Antonio
the
Spurs,
kids care about Tim Duncan though. The
yeah,
kids remember Tim Duncan,
no, they don't
and
actually. But
yes,
I,
the kids
I'm
do.
a minor. I'm a meme on the internet because I'm talking to a dude who's telling me about Anthony Davis, how good Anthony Davis is, and he's basically describing Tim Duncan.
Yeah, but we all knew that dude was crazy when he was talking.
I'm telling him like, you've never seen Tim Duncan play, have you? Oh shit,
Didn't y'all
never.
go to playback that same day and watch Tim Duncan?
I'm like,
I feel like
you clearly never seen Tim Duncan play. This is what I'm talking
nah,
about
man.
when I'm dealing with when I'm dealing with the younger crowd, because back on track that when the further away you are removed, people still try to
Y'all
they
went to
get stuck on that.
playback and didn't y'all
But
watch Tim
and
Duncan and Mitch Richmond? Y'all checked both of
yes,
them out, and he was like, "Oh man, I didn't know they was like that." Like, yeah,
the point I'm making, minor, is that when I look at the San Antonio Spurs, yes, they do have a history of winning. Brooklyn has a history of fumbling, but
correct.
in this particular situation, for them to get Cooper Flag, a couple of things have to happen. And if they were to get Cooper Flag, I don't think that the NBA would disallow that. It would be like, we got to now hire the right people. Now we got to get the right people in here to manage this kid because we can't ruin him. It's just bad for basketball if we did that. It'd be terrible for basketball. 100% it would be. So, all right, Minor. I know where to find you at, brother. What up? What up?
Yo, Chi, what up?
What up?
Yo, Chi, what up?
What up? What up?
I watched Summer League yesterday and I saw Bonnie James and he wasn't good at all.
Okay.
Ugh.
What up? Peace, chill.
Hi,
Peace, go. What
what's
up?
going on?
What up?
Listen, before I get real pissed off, I'm gonna just let everybody know. Listen, history has a habit of repeating itself. Now, I've seen Cooper Flag to my now. Let me get to what mine is saying. I've seen Cooper Flag, but I also seen Ace Bailey. And Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper will be playing at the University of Rutgers, and I will be doing calling a lot of those games on my page. Man, I'm play by play. You know, I'm sort of the Black Marv Albert on YouTube. So listen to me. I look, and I could be wrong about this. I swear to you, bro. Like Cooper Flag is giving me straight up Keith Van Horn vibes. I like it's nothing to me, and I'm seeing everything that he's doing. And mind you, you played against Keith Van Horn in college.
He's the best college
He
player
was
I ever
pretty
played
damn
against.
good in college, wasn't he?
He was the best player I played against in college.
And remind us to everybody that's watching, where did Keith Van Horn land in the draft?
He went to the Nets.
But what pick was he?
I think he was the number two or the 3 pick.
He was the number 2 pick right behind Tim Duncan.
Mm-hmm.
So for all of y'all listening out here, bro, and y'all watching, and y'all honestly believe that a kid from Maine is gonna be the next big thing in the league, bro. Like, trust me when I tell you, bro, there's a pecking order. There's a big time pecking order in the league, bro. Like, and there's a reason that ain't been a great American-born Caucasian player since Larry Bird. There's a reason why. So before y'all start jumping off the top rope about Cooper Flag, let it be known, Ace Bailey, bro. Listen, you need to watch Ace Bailey while you doing that. I understand Cooper Flag. He wowed everybody, bro, at whatchamacallit and all of this. And I'm not sitting here to dog the kid because realistically, the only team that's in tank mode is really us. I don't give a goddamn what the Chicago Bulls do. They got to get rid of Lonzo and Zach LaVine. They got to figure out a way to get rid of them.
It's working. They on it.
You sure?
Yeah, they on
you
it.
Sure?
100%.
You sure? That. Because I talked to SB yesterday, bro, and he sound panic. He sound real damn panic. I'm trying to figure out how the hell they gonna get rid of Lonzo Ball, who they should have got rid of years ago, bro, when the shit broke down, when you told me that DeMar DeRozan was holding that team together with glue and duct tape. Somehow,
Which he
some way they
was.
stayed on it. Somehow, some way they stayed on it. But Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper are more to, or I personally believe that they're gonna have more to prove, just off the strength that everybody keeps saying Cooper Flag is guaranteed number one. You know what I'm saying? That's the number one thing. Number two, you talked about Dallas, and I feel like we talked about this Klay Thompson thing over and over and over and over again. And I keep telling you, guess what? Klay Thompson don't have to be Klay Thompson or old. You know why? Because of what you said earlier. They got Najee Marshall. They got a guy. They got a legitimate 3-and-D guy that can start at the 3. That's gonna be a defender. That's gonna be a 39% shooter, like you said. Realistically, Klay for 3 years, 50 mil. It's nice he could come off the bench, bro, and give you a good 12 points, and that's what you need. Like Dallas had no perimeter shooting this past year. I don't know how they made it to the damn finals.
Matchups.
I really don't.
Matchups.
That's what it is. And I think that's what it's gonna be from here on out. Everybody got to have favorable matchups. Ain't nobody running through the 6. Ain't nobody running through no team that that had their number. Ain't nobody doing that no more. That's why the Celtics won all along. They should have swept the damn playoffs. That's what they should have did. Realistically,
they almost did.
They almost did.
Yep, they almost did.
But another thing I do like, and you talked about Indiana. I totally forgot they picked up James Wiseman.
Yes,
I had totally forgot about that, man.
On the cheap, too.
For a big time cheap. Everything that you said about Obi Toppin in the past still rings true. He really don't know what he's doing. But the thing is, he's playing with a team that can move up and down, and it can appear like he know what he's doing. They putting him in dunk box situations. They putting him in running gun situations. They putting him in situations where he could spot up and react fast. Everything is spread offense.
Well, he doesn't have to do a lot. That's the difference.
Yeah, of course he doesn't have to do a lot. And I don't know what you got against Miles. And I don't know what you got against Miles Turner, bro. Like, but
he's
Miles
soft.
Turner is
he's soft, Leaf. He's soft. That's the problem that I got with him. He's soft. He the dude that I'm coming over to the table and I'm taking your lunch. I'm eating this. You don't want that.
Oh, stop that. No,
that's him.
No,
yes,
no. I think you overblowing it, bro. I think
I'm not. I think he's soft. I do.
I think
he's soft.
Listen, look, at the center position, I think Miles Turner just brings a different dynamic to the center position. The fact that he could shoot, he could still block shots. He's not that great of a rebounder, obviously. But the thing is like, I guess if you want to say that makes him soft.
What big? Tell me this, Leaf. What big do you know that's damn good? That's damn good in your estimation. That doesn't rebound, that you don't think is soft.
That doesn't rebound. I mean, for a while it was dirty. You can't be a for a while. For a while it was for a while it was Porzingis. I thought Porzingis was damn good, but he didn't. He wasn't a somebody that was going to get 10+ rebounds a game. A lot of times he was averaging.
What was the consensus on Porzingis for a long time?
The consensus on Porzingis is that he was injury prone. He
was soft. Weak. And he was soft.
The soft label, I think.
Yes, that was going on. He was soft.
I didn't put the soft label on him. I will say that. The reason why is because I think his skill set was second to none. Like, we saw what he could do at his best when he was on the Knicks. We saw what he could do the last year with Washington. He was averaging 22 and 8. Those is good numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think
big. Listen, Leaf. You can't sell me a big that doesn't rebound. That's not soft. I don't care about all them buckets. I don't care about that. I don't care about you being nice with the pill. If you don't stick your nose in there, I think Jaren Jackson
and rebound the basketball.
I think Jaren Jackson is soft. I do. I think Buck Williams would have ate his lunch.
Listen, listen, and I'm not arguing with you there. And I'm not arguing with you there, bro. Like, when you talk about the old school power forwards, let's remind you, bro, back in your day, in like the 80s, 90s era. Let's be fair. Power forwards out rebounding centers.
That was my
Come on,
job.
tell me
That was
me
my
that's a lie.
job. That
Yeah,
was my job.
okay, that was their job. But let it be known, it was 6'7" and 6'4" dudes leading the league in rebounds, while the 7-footers was barely grabbing 11 or 12 of them. You know what I'm saying, bro? You had Rodman leading the league in rebounds by a mile. You had Barkley leading the league in rebounds by a mile. He was 6'4". Was those dudes that he was going against and getting rebound, some 7-footers that he was getting out rebounded, were they soft? You got to ask yourself that.
Yes.
They were soft. They don't.
Yes. Elton Spencer was soft.
Benoit
Benjamin was soft. Benoit Benjamin. Get out of here, man.
Spencer.
Elton Spencer,
Irvin Johnson,
Eldon
Ben
Campbell.
Baker, Eldon Campbell, Kelvin Cato, bro. Like, come on, like, yo. I mean, listen, I understand what you're saying about doing the dirty work, but I think today, bro, like with the way that the game is space and pace, we seeing Josh Hart out rebound the centers, man. Come on, bro. This shit is wild. Like, it is really, really wild. We seeing him show come in the playoffs with 15 rebound games. I've been seeing this since Rondo. I remember Rondo was having 15 and 16 rebound games. The thing is like, I think more so with the way that you have to move around now, in a way that shit is all switching around, as opposed from what it was in the 80s and 90s, it's different. That's just me, bro. Like, I really, really think it's different.
Yep.
I think it's just a different element now. Because, all right, yeah, definitely. Brooklyn's getting the pick, man. All right, Brooklyn's getting the pick, man. Tell their ass to shut up.
I leave. Couldn't talk to you, brother. No doubt. Yeah. Looks like I'm out of town, guys. That's what it looks like. Looks like I'm out of time. Y'all know where to find me at if I'm not here. Right? Y'all know where to find me at if I'm not here. I'm on TikTok, 9 a.m. every day, Monday to Friday. Good morning, NBA. I'm on here on Monday night. I'm on here on Tuesday night. Me and my man Tony Tone, Fluent and Chill. Wednesday and Thursday, I'm right here. I'm on the panel during the week, 11 to 2, Monday to Friday. You guys know where to find me at. I'm not hard to find. I will see you guys soon. But until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. When last time you talked to your mother? I just seen my mother this weekend. I was up in Jersey. I just seen my mother this weekend. I just talked to her yesterday, as a matter of fact. Call your mother, man. Call your mother. I will see you guys soon. But until then, take it light. Take it. Absolutely.